Guys, why we are meeting up today, and so obviously there's this whole like coronavirus situation with 1.3 million cases all around the world, and this kind of made us share our thoughts on how startups, as well as small and medium businesses, can survive, can operate in this difficult period. So, shortly speaking, we are all facing certain restrictions, limitations in regards to transportation, work, education. So does our businesses, no matter where, like both in States, Europe, Asia. And we as Swiss EP and SHTP and myself, we believe that going through the crisis, it's not necessarily about being the strongest and the biggest, the fastest, or the most resistant. It is about being able to adjust yourself to the current market situation. And so what matters today is literally which kind of skills you have, and if the skills that you possess, they let you change the way you act within the team and interact with clients externally. So yeah, that's the reason we are meeting up today. We want to kind of help with the skills. And let's move to slide number 2. And having said that, so today I'm planning obviously to answer all of your questions, both from the presentation and the chat. And but like, to cut the long story short, I'm here to share my experience on remote work, which, by the way, is getting more and more popular and more efficient every year. Just so you know, as an intro, like the efficiency of remote workers, employees, it got 140% better than it was in 2005. So there are two important informations. First information is that remote work is getting more efficient. The second one, that remote work has already 15 years, right? Since there's the data from this period. And apart from remote work itself, I'm really happy to answer all the questions that you might have in regards to Scrum management, Scrum organization, or product development cycle. So yeah, having said that, I'm here for you.
Okay, that's very exciting. And I think remote work is not only just a temporary inconvenience because of this pandemic, but also a trend for a working style, right, Slava?
Yeah, agree. I mean, like, this is a working style. A lot of people traveling right now, maybe not right now, but in general, last years, a lot of people like traveling, becoming digital nomads. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can I just move to the first question for Slava?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I move to the next slide, please?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first question for you, because you have just mentioned that remote work is become more and more efficient nowadays, especially for the global citizen and the startup innovation norms. So why do you think it's more efficient than on-site? And are there any other setup that you can recommend?
So Dao, that's a very good question, but also the tricky one. And obviously there are a lot of dependencies here. And so like, what I mean is that there are jobs that at the current stage of technology, they cannot be done remotely, right? At least they cannot be done remotely in an efficient way. And I cannot imagine myself like drivers, coal miners, or firefighters doing that stuff, right? I hope you agree.
Yeah.
And so having said that, I will try to set your expectations today towards our call. So during our call, I'm gonna refer mainly to digital organizations, startups, or the traditional businesses that can relatively easily move to distributed model. And having said that, now I believe that work is work, and as long you can keep the right focus, and focus is a key word here, there's no difference between working from home or supporting the organization from the office. Surprisingly enough, I can say that around like 75-80% of remote employees, They say that they choose this way because there are less disruptions at home than in the office. And so kind of to back this point, I would say that there's no difference on where you are, as long as you have this focus that I just mentioned, but also you are provided with all information needed to do your job efficiently. And then you can communicate frequently, and you keep transparency of your work and simply do your job. Like, you know, if you deliver, no one is going to question you, right? So to answer your question directly, I would say what is more efficient? It depends on the industry, people, and process. In my case, that's 100% remote. That works for me. And yeah, I mean, like, but you also ask for the recommended setup, right? So there's an example. I've got my time at a company, Thai company, almost ago, and by default, all of the employees, they were granted a right to work remotely, even the fellas being in Bangkok, so like living in the same city where we got the headquarters. And that the only rule that we followed was that whenever there is a meeting or long-standing like brainstorming session, we go for face-to-face meeting in the office or in the co-working space. So what I'm trying to say is the solution, the preferable solution for companies that are operating in one city is remote, but with keeping this human touch. Like, let's go for a meeting, let's go for a coffee from time to time, just to make sure that, you know, people know each other. And for all of the companies being distributed all around the world, I would say uh, I would say that remote works pretty well. And as long as you organize the calls with the team from time to time, and you are sharing video with people so they can see your face, again, the human touch. And yeah, so to answer your question, I see like a huge potential in remote work, but still I would mention again that I would highlight that, you know, you need to keep this human touch. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Thank you, Slava. So let me summarize your points.
Mhm.
So it depends on industry to choose either on-site or remote work, right? But your like kind of work, like startup or innovation related work, is suitable to do remote work.
I agree.
Yeah,
Plus, I would like to add one more point. So the thing is, if you think about the office today, right? I mean, like, there are a lot of internal calls, video conferences,
yeah,
also a lot of materials, documents, they are already uploaded in the cloud, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, like, the office itself is already the virtual place. So none of the difference. You can access the documents from home or from the office. It's the same way, right? You do it, you do this stuff with computer.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. And to maximize the efficiency by working remotely, you mentioned about being focused, have efficient communication via calls or video, and like occasionally face-to-face meetings, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, audiences, I don't know if you need me to translate the summary of each questions in Vietnamese. I will stop every three questions and get a question from you to ask Slava. So if you need me to translate in Vietnamese in the end of each question, please let me know.
Okay.
In the chat, anyone? Otherwise, I will continue by speaking with Slava with the questions.
Okay, I think we can continue in English. Like,
Yeah, okay, that's great. Okay, thank you for the first answer. Here's the second question for you. So what are the most important rules of working remotely, both on the individual and organization level? And are the rules applicable to all profession and industries?
so Dao, you got some good questions for me today, I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to be short and sharp here. I would say there are like around 5, 6 rules, and they are applicable most likely to all of the industries, because those are the general ones, rules of conduct. So I would say what matters a lot in working remotely is, number one, preparation. Example, if there is a meeting in Google Calendar, we have an agenda there. There are all links attached so people can get familiar with the stuff before. And there is a goal for the meeting that we go for, right? So again, preparation is it's very important. Then I would say number two, time management. And so if there is a meeting at 2 p.m., that's not going to be 2:01 or 3 p.m. That's going to be exactly 2 p.m. And the reason for that is that different people, they have different schedule. And especially for the fellas working in the different time zones, that might mean that someone want to go for lunch or someone want to go sleep, right? So important thing. Number three, it's general transparency. And I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but there are three small bullet points under transparency here. Transparency in regards to availability. So I put my all activities into Google Calendar so people can check what I'm doing and where I am. Then transparency in regards to work being done. So again, I'm showing the progress. I'm working with collaborative tools and so on and so forth. And finally, I would say transparency in regards to clarity of communication. So whenever there is a subject, a topic that you want to discuss, you need to discuss with many people, or you even need to discuss it with one person, but it's gonna reflect of the work of many people. Then it's good to create a chat, a group, and just elaborate there. So after transparency, I would move to number four, and this is deliverability. So meaning we agree on some tasks, and we agree to deliver something in certain way. We're just doing it. And if we cannot deliver, or there are some changes, or there are some delays, you get your team informed upfront, so this is not surprise to them, right? And few more points. Responsiveness, openness, that's number five. In a way that whenever there's a question asked, you answer it. This is very important in building relationship, building rapport with the team. And two more side for me, side points would be productivity measurement, but not in a way that we measure OKRs or KPIs, because that's going to happen anyway on the project level, but in a way that the quality of tasks that you deliver is kind of justified by the time that you spend on delivery. So time, quality, energy wise. And finally, as a remote employee, you definitely want to make sure that you use good headphones and your iPad or laptop is working correctly. So there are no technical surprises, issues on the way you talk to somebody. So I would say those are the points, the rules that I follow and I can recommend. So around 5-6 things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I think this question draw the most attention from our audiences, because we received the same question from the registrations. So from anh Hòa, anh Hưng, anh Sang, anh Mai, anh Lưu và chị Hương is a similar question. So let me summarize and correct me if I'm wrong. So you mentioned about 5 to 6 rules of working remotely. First one is the preparation with the virtual office that we have. Second one is strict time management. Third is transparency on the availability and the working progress. Fourth is the deliverability. Fifth, responsiveness and openness. And the last one is productivity measurement.
That's correct. I also mentioned the equipment, but this is like a side comment. Yeah, those are the golden rules that I follow. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So let me translate in Vietnamese about the summary that I just did. Bạn Slava có chia sẻ 6 cái nguyên tắc khi mà làm việc từ xa quan trọng nhất. Nguyên tắc thứ nhất là phải có sự chuẩn bị cẩn thận, kỹ lưỡng với những cái thiết bị mà mình có xung quanh mình khi mà làm từ xa, gọi là văn phòng ảo. Nguyên tắc thứ hai là phải quản lý thời gian một cách nghiêm ngặt. bạn ấy nói là không được trễ dù 1 hay là 2 phút, tại vì có thể làm việc với những cái time zone nó khác nhau, cho nên là phải quản lý thời gian rất là nghiêm ngặt. Nguyên tắc thứ ba là phải rõ ràng, minh bạch trong thời gian biểu của mình và tiến độ công việc của mình với những thành viên còn lại ở trong nhóm. Nguyên tắc thứ tư là giao tiếp về cái khả năng hoàn thành công việc của mình như thế nào, mình hoàn thành được bao nhiêu phần trăm hay như thế nào thì nên giao tiếp với cả team cùng biết. Nguyên tắc thứ năm là trả lời nhanh và cởi mở với lại các đồng đội để mà có sự kết nối với nhau. Nguyên tắc thứ sáu là đo lường cái hiệu quả công việc bằng những cái công cụ, hay là tùy vào cái task, là cái công việc mà được giao, và cái cách đo lường đó nó sẽ mình phải đo lường được cái hiệu quả công việc. Thì có 6 cái nguyên tắc như vậy. Nếu như mà anh chị nào chưa rõ nữa thì cứ đặt câu hỏi ở trong khung chat. Sau câu hỏi thứ 3 thì Đào sẽ quay lại để mà hỏi bạn Slava lại để bạn có thể giải thích thêm cho anh chị ha. Okay, Slava. Okay, thank you very much. This is a very good advice from you. Now we move to the next question. Okay. Yeah, so it is especially for startup. So how to make a transition from on-site to remote, and what to avoid?
Okay, so those are this is the question that I discussed with Codimo and TabBack and the startups that I'm supporting with the SHTP recently. And what I can say, like preferably that would be step by step, not rushing, but I also understand that this is not our case, right? We are talking about immediate and far-going changes because of the coronavirus. So I'm gonna have very precise recommendations here. So the first bullet point is, if you wanna be an agile organization and you wanna go for Scrum, you need to ensure, like according to Scrum guide and the good practices from the market, 3 things: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. And usually, like, no one will tell you more, but like, since we are having very much practical discussion here, I'm just gonna elaborate a little bit more. And so what I mean by this is, whenever you're working on the product or process, please take a structured and data-driven approach, and make sure that you always know answers for like 4 magic questions: what you're gonna do, why you're gonna do it, who's gonna do it, and how we're gonna deliver, right? How we're gonna execute certain thing. And from those questions, there are coming the bullet points that I want to share with you. So the first thing that you need to prepare as a manager, as a CEO of a startup going for transition are so-called common definitions. So both on the strategy and operational level, I would definitely recommend to make sure that people understand where we're going. So that goes for defining goals, milestones, and timeline on one hand, but on the other hand, going into detail and defining, for instance, the definition, describing so-called definition of done as an example, right? So example, like in the software development teams, definition of done is very important because that determines a lot. That might be the feature that is delivered by the developer in the first iteration, but that might be also the feature after the whole quality assurance process, right? After checking all of the bugs, and the feature that is like literally ready for release. Those are like totally 2 different features, and just to the definition, I mean, we just need to like think about the definition there. Then, so after common definitions, so kind of understanding, building understanding, I would say you need to build a process, like daily routine, so people know what to follow. And this is also in regards to Scrum. So as an example, I don't want to go into details because we're going to discuss it some time later in the future within another call. But the point is, whenever I'm saying routine, I'm saying you need to have some events, like, I don't know, sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint reviews, sprint retrospectives, and artifacts that you care about, like backlog or increment. So shortly, everyone knows like not only what we are doing, but also how we are doing, how we are proceeding with things. So process, routine. And finally, I would say that one of the most important advices that I got in my life was to clear up the whole like decision-making process to make it understandable for everyone. And there's a nice like methodology method for that, a DACI, driver, approver, contributor, informed. In other words, you just let people know who's taking decision and who is supposed to be informed about this, like, no, this and that decision, and also who's involved in the discussion and who's not. And that saves a lot of time. And on top of that, I can say that you need to stay, I can repeat myself and I can say that you need to stay a human being. So you need to kind of embrace the social time, maybe some social channels in Slack. But like, no, the most important things are those 3 rules that I just mentioned, common definitions, routine, and the decision-making process. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned about what, why, who, and how, right?
That's exactly, yeah.
How
That's what
about where and when?
this is something that that goes together with how. I mean, like once defining how we're gonna do it, then the timeline is like usually created. But like those are also the questions that need to be involved in it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So before translating your answer, I would like to ask about a common definition that you just mentioned. So the common definition is in what scope? You mean like, what kind of definitions you mentioned about?
You can think about common definitions as like, common understanding on our goals, about
Oh,
our goals, our milestones, our timeline. So like now literally people know where we're going and how we are planning to achieve certain goals. So things are clear to the audience, things are clear to your employees, to your workmates.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. So let me translate your answer to the audiences. Bạn Slava có nói về cái cách mà chuyển đổi từ làm việc tại chỗ cho tới làm việc từ xa đối với một startup, đi theo những cái câu hỏi như là what, why, who, how và ngay cả where và when. Thì trong đó cái phần quan trọng mà bạn đề cập tới là phần những cái định nghĩa chung, những khái niệm chung để mà mọi người cùng thống nhất được với nhau là cái công việc nó là gì, thì bao gồm như là mục tiêu công việc, những cái cột mốc cần phải thực hiện là gì, thời gian như thế nào, tất cả những cái định nghĩa chung đó thì mọi người cần phải thống nhất và cùng hiểu. Cái thứ hai quan trọng nữa là phải xây dựng được một cái quy trình trong quá trình làm việc hàng ngày, và cả quan trọng hơn cả là quy trình ra quyết định. Ở giai đoạn nào ai sẽ ra quyết định, ở mức độ nào và như thế nào, thì những cái đó là những cái mà mình cần quan tâm khi mà chuyển đổi mô hình làm việc. Ok. Nếu như mà các anh chị có thêm câu hỏi hay là thắc mắc hay là chưa rõ thì các anh chị cứ gửi câu hỏi vào trong group chat. Yeah. Okay. So, do you have any questions so far? Okay. We have one question from the audience that I may raise to you, Slava.
Yep.
Yeah. So she asked, Ms. Hiền, she asked that how to motivate staff if the team work remotely.
Okay, so
yeah.
This is one of the questions that we're gonna cover in the presentation. So if you can wait
yeah.
for like 10 minutes, I'm gonna cover it definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, she also mentioned that especially for those staff who need human interaction to work effectively. I mean, some people who are more extroverted and they need to be surrounded by people. So especially for them, how to motivate that kind of type of people. Yeah.
works for me. Let's answer this question slightly later, and then we can focus on it. Yeah, but that's a good question. Thanks for it. Yeah.
Okay. Just bear in mind that question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now please move to the next question. Okay, you just shared about how to make the transitions. And to make the transition, what tools that you recommend for the team to work?
Okay, so again, I'm gonna be short here, and I just say that after the call, I'm gonna drop you an email with very specific links to the tools that I think are the best, especially for like startups. For now, I can say that there are like different fields. There's a communication, product, project, and data thing. For communication, I would definitely recommend Slack for internal communication. I don't know, maybe somebody knows it, maybe somebody not. That's a good one. For external communication, I would say Gmail. For calls, Zoom. So the tool that we are using right now, the quality of sound is good. For product, and I would say there's Miro.com for flows as an example. There's Figma for designs, and there might be InVision for like just showing the flow to clients. Like there are a lot of tools, and I think that I can share the best thing I can do is like not to name all of the tools right now, just share the list after the call, just saying that those gonna be like 4 categories, like communication, product management, project management, and data storage, this kind of stuff. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay, but can you share your screen on the tool that you think the most effective for each category? Communication, product management, and project management, so that we can on the same page.
Okay, so I will skip communication for now because there are different communications, internal and external. I'm gonna go for product and project management.
Yes,
So for product, I really like Miro.com, and that's a tool for flows, conceptualizing your work, and also like I know that some of the designers, they use it to show the flow charts, the user path. A lot of opportunities there. So like with the startups that I support within SHTP, and we use Miro.com. Then
how do you spell the name of the tool? How do you spell the name of the tool you're using? You just mentioned.
Miro.com.
Yeah, Miro.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then for project management, again, this is a very broad category. We might talk about like project management on the development level, but also we can talk about the marketing teams. And so what I like to work with in regards to development, I like Jira, I like GitHub, and in regards to marketing teams, I really like Asana. And
how do you spell it? I will type in the group chat now. Or you can also type the group chat so that people can see.
Yeah, so I don't think like it matters right now. Like I can drop it like in a sec, just like let me finish up this point, and I guess we should be conscious of time, right? Because there are like 5 minutes left. Yeah. So the point is, I'm gonna share all of the tools with you. There are gonna be different categories of them, and be sure you're gonna get an email from me. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so to sum up this, we're gonna have the recommendation of tools from Slava for the communication, product management, and project management.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bạn Slava có chia sẻ một số cái công cụ để mà mình dùng trong quá trình mà làm việc đội nhóm từ xa. Thì nó có 3 cái chức năng chính. Thứ nhất là về giao tiếp, thì giao tiếp nội bộ, giao tiếp bên ngoài. Và nhóm thứ hai là quản lý sản phẩm, và nhóm thứ ba là quản lý dự án. Thì sau cái call bạn sẽ chia sẻ những cái tool đó, gửi link lại cho mọi người.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so a little bit more into the technical. So what is the most popular product development cycle in remote organizations?
All right, so this is a good question because, like, product management is very much like managing the startup, and so whatever I'm gonna say now, it's very much applicable to every single startup within our SHTP incubator. What I usually do as a project manager is I start with a market research, and so I'm trying to understand what are the trends, dynamics, where's the money in the industry that we are operating in. So, but like, again, we are not doing any PhD here. We are not making PhD here. We're just like, trying to get a grasp of knowledge. What are the trends? With this knowledge, I'm going for competitor analysis and competitor research. So I'm building business canvas, or like recently I started doing more lean canvas for competitors. And the most important thing here is to understand the unique value proposition by our competitors. With this knowledge, I usually go for a call with C-level executives or senior managers, and we do so-called product definition, product explanation. So I'm trying to understand what our product is, what our product is not for sure. There's a table for that. Also, after the call, I'm gonna share with you the example of such research, so you can have a template, literally like that. When I have a clear vision what our product is, what our product is not, at least on the high level, I'm trying to understand what are the values that we want to bring with our feature, with our product, and how does it reflect on the personas that we also build that time. And with personas and values, we create a table, so-called feature canvas, where for every single persona and for every single value, and this might be, I don't know, usability, safety, whatever. And for every single persona, we create a list of features that somehow help with delivering the value for this persona. And after that, there are estimations, both business and technical ones, prioritization, and finally with the estimate from the technical team. So like whenever I understand what are the relations, connections between certain features, I build a roadmap. And once I get a roadmap with more or less specific dates, like when certain thing is gonna be delivered, I can start working on the marketing activities, marketing strategy together with the business development team. And yeah, so that's how it looks like. Like literally there are like 9 steps that I usually follow. And what I can say is that if you're interested in the Scrum organization, how the iterations should be scheduled, we can discuss it separately one day in the future, or I can drop some notes after the call. But like in regards to research, those are the 9 points that I just mentioned.
Okay. I in my note I just took a point. So correct me if I'm wrong at any point. So the first is market research, then the second is the trends, market trends. The third is competitor analysis. You use lean canvas for that.
Let me correct you from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So that's the market research, then competitor research, then product definition, values, personas, feature canvas, estimations, both business and technical, and roadmap. But yeah, you were very close.
Okay. So estimation for the technical and the business too, you mean?
From the business and then technical. So you want to understand from the product perspective, from the speaker perspective, what matters. Yeah.
Okay. So in the 6 step, first is the market research, second is the competitor research, third is value and persona, fourth is feature canvas, the fifth is the estimation for technical and business, and the sixth is the roadmap, the go-to-market roadmap.
Yeah, more or less like that. Yeah, but the general trend, the direction is correct one. Yeah, agree.
Okay, thank you, Slava. So let me translate in Vietnamese for our audience. Câu hỏi về việc mà cái chương trình phát triển sản phẩm phổ biến nhất cho những cái tổ chức mà cần làm việc từ xa là gì, thì bạn có chỉ ra 6 cái bước cơ bản phổ biến nhất. Bước thứ nhất là thị trường, nghiên cứu thị trường. Mục đích quan trọng nhất của nghiên cứu thị trường là tìm ra xu hướng của thị trường là gì. Bước thứ hai là nghiên cứu và phân tích đối thủ cạnh tranh. Thì bạn dùng cái Lean Canvas để mà cái mô hình Lean Canvas để mà phân tích đối thủ cạnh tranh. Bước thứ ba là về product definition, tức là giải thích cái sản phẩm của mình, cái gì là sản phẩm của mình, cái gì không phải sản phẩm của mình, để mà cả team hiểu rõ. Bước thứ tư là xác định giá trị của sản phẩm mang lại là gì, song song với việc tìm hiểu cái persona, là cái hồ sơ của khách hàng mình muốn hướng tới. Thì mỗi cái giá trị nó sẽ để thỏa mãn một cái hồ sơ khách hàng nhất định. Thì từ cái này nó ra cái bước thứ 5, đó là cái feature canvas, tức là đưa ra những cái đặc tính nó phù hợp với từng cái giá trị mà mình muốn đưa tới cho khách hàng là gì. Bước tiếp theo thứ 66 là ước lượng về cái nỗ lực hay là nguồn lực mà mình cần cho việc phát triển sản phẩm công nghệ và việc kinh doanh như thế nào. Và sau đó bước cuối cùng, thứ 7, là cái chiến lược đi ra thị trường như thế nào, thì bao gồm cả việc về marketing và tài chính.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's very very great to have the clear, like step by step for the product development cycle that you recommend.
Also, though, I think that there are gonna be some blog posts or articles after our webinar, so people can always read more. I'm gonna be more like into detail that time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We can move forward, I guess.
Yeah. So let's move on to the question 6. Yeah. So what is the best possible user research method, and how to understand the real pain points and ensure the market fit?
Mm-hmm. So those are like 3 questions. So I'm gonna try to answer them shortly from the end. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the only way though to ensure, and it's not like you can do it fully, you cannot, but the only way to ensure to some extent the market fit is number 1, proper research, number 2, building MVP, number 3, releasing this feature or product into the market, number 4, collecting feedback, and finally working on adjustments and iteration, like in continuous iteration. We are changing something in the product. That's the only way. So very much agile Scrum approach. You need to like build, release, measure, and get back like to the production cycle. Then you're asking about the real pain points, right? There are so-called value proposition canvas, where you can identify not only pains of the customer, but also the pain relievers on the product side. So I'm just gonna leave you with this thought at this stage. We're gonna discuss it one day in the future in more detail, but value proposition canvas that will answer all of your questions. And obviously, the main question was about the research method, the favorite one, the best one. I mean, like, there's nothing like, the best user method. I would say that they are all different, and you need to just, decide on one based on the purpose that you need to follow, and the target audience, and maybe the data points that you have. And but like, if you ask me as an example, what I like doing is, those are the questionnaires, but questionnaires in a way that I'm doing it right now with one of the startups within SHTP. So there's a questionnaire that we built together with a startup, and we are sharing the questionnaire with our current clients. And so the company can get like kind of familiar with the set of questions that we got for them. And then we go for a kind of one-to-one business to business call, where we literally ask the same questions, have prepared like some follow-up ones. And so I would say, like, no, always a call is a nice option, as far as it is something prepared, and as far as the question that you want to ask to people, they don't surprise them. Yeah.
Okay. So the questionnaire and the value proposition canvas can be used for the research that you mentioned in the beginning of the method, right?
Yeah, that's the right thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah, I just want to say that there are a lot of methods that you can use. I just mentioned those two because, like, recently I work with them a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Regarding to the market fit, I think is the most concern of all startups and company. Let me repeat again the step that you mentioned for the method. First is the proper research. The second is to build the MVP. The third is releasing the feature to the market, right?
Yeah.
The fourth is measuring. Measuring and collecting feedback, is it the same?
Yeah, it was about collecting feedback. That's correct.
Yeah, four,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. 4 steps for the method. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Khi mà hỏi về để nghiên cứu về hành vi khách hàng, các phương pháp mà nghiên cứu hành vi khách hàng và làm sao để tìm hiểu được cái điểm chỗ nào là chỗ đau của khách hàng và để cái market fit là đảm bảo là mình giải quyết được cái nỗi đau đó, thì bạn Slava có đưa ra một cái mô hình là gồm 4 bước. Bước đầu tiên là phải nghiên cứu. Bước thứ hai là xây dựng MVP. MVP là sản phẩm tối thiểu để có thể ra thị trường. Bước thứ ba là đưa cái sản phẩm ra thị trường để thử, và bước thứ tư là phải collect feedback, thu nhập lại phản hồi từ khách hàng. Thì 4 cái bước này mình có thể làm lặp đi lặp lại cho đến khi mà feedback nó ổn nhất có thể. Thì trong quá trình này thì bạn có đưa ra 2 cái công cụ. Một là cái value proposition canvas, thì nó nói về việc mà làm sao để mình có thể xác định được cái nỗi đau của khách hàng và chỗ nào là cái chỗ có thể giải quyết được nỗi đau đó. Và cái công cụ thứ hai mà bạn cũng có chia sẻ là bạn có làm việc với lại một startup của SFTPIC, làm cái bảng câu hỏi. Thì bảng câu hỏi thế nào là hợp lý cho ai như thế nào trong suốt quá trình này, thì đó cũng là một cái công cụ rất là hiệu quả. Thì để đi vào chi tiết hơn những cái quy trình cũng như là cái phương pháp này, bạn có thể chia sẻ vào một cái buổi khác đi vào chi tiết hơn, hoặc là những cái bài mà bạn có thể viết và bên phía ban tổ chức có thể chia sẻ lại cho mọi người. Okay, Slava, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move to the next question. Okay, this question is exactly like the question that I mentioned before in our group chat from Miss Hing. How to keep your team happy and motivated, and especially for those who need more human interaction than others.
Okay, so can you elaborate more? Especially when? Can you say that?
For those, for the people who need more human interaction than others.
Okay, so
yeah,
I got the point. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
So, guys, especially to all CEOs and managers, human resource managers, I would say that numbers are on your side, and it is said it was measured that by default, 85 up to 90% of remote employees, and they say that this setup reduces stress. So they should be more relaxed working from home. At least that's what they say. So that's number one. They should be more happy by default if you allow them to work from home. And but my advice here is, first of all, make sure that they, again, we can get back to the remote work golden rules. Ensure that they are provided with all information needed to work efficiently, and make sure that all documents, they are uploaded in Google Drive or Dropbox, whatever you use. Make sure that the tasks that you allocate within the team, they are distributed in the right way. So there are different tasks. There are the tasks that they're gonna need to team up and work together on, but there's also a set of tasks that they will deliver individually, right? Maybe in even shorter period of time. Then 40% of employees working remotely, they say that the biggest advantage of working remotely is being flexible, staying flexible. So having said that, be flexible as a boss in a way that set the rules, set the goal, but like don't expect people to execute certain tasks like 100% in a way that you would do it. Let people do it their way, right? They work from home, they want to be kind of, they expect some kind of flexibility from your side. Plus, I would say, please avoid long meetings, both on the internal and external level. Internal meetings, if they are well organized, they shouldn't take more than like 25-30 minutes. Everyone should be ready for a meeting, and just that should be a short discussion. For external meetings, good sales call, it shouldn't be longer than 45 minutes, 30-45 minutes. So be, again, aware of time limits. And finally, I would sum it up and speak the language of your audience. So again, we are getting back to the point that I mentioned a few minutes ago about common definitions. I mean, like, make sure that people understand where we're going and how we are executing certain tasks and what is the definition of done. So they are not surprises during meetings or calls that someone thought, I have already finished it, but as a matter of fact, that's not something that you would be interested in. So those points. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So let me summarize first before moving to the question that's make me also very excited to know is, like, for those who need more human interaction, how we're going to work with them and how to make them work more effectively. So you mentioned about 5 points to keep the team happy and motivated. The first point is a well-arranged documents space like Google Drive, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is just an example. So what I mean is, like, let people have an access to information, right? Like, if you expect somebody to
Okay.
do something,
Yeah.
yeah, make sure that he knows what to do.
Okay. Okay. So the first one is the accessible information is ready for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the second point is transparent task allocation for team and also for individual.
that's correct. Yeah,
Yeah. The third one is empowerment for people to work by their own way.
that's correct. Plus flexibility. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
empowerment. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the fourth one is respect the time limits.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah. And the fifth is communicate clearly about the definition and expectations from leader and other team members.
yeah.
Yeah.
Setting expectations is important. That's correct. Yeah, you got my point.
Yeah. Okay, so let me translate this one. Bạn Slava chia sẻ là để mà giữ cho team của mình vui và được có động lực để làm việc khi mà làm việc từ xa, thì bạn có nói là thông thường về mặc định cho làm việc ở nhà là đã vui hơn bình thường rồi, ít stress hơn rồi, 80-90% mọi người trả lời như vậy. Thì trong mặc dù như vậy thì cũng có những cái cách sau để có thể động viên mọi người thêm. Thì có 5 cái việc mà phải làm. Thứ nhất là cho mọi người kết nối được thông tin đầy đủ. Thì cái phần về dữ liệu hay là thông tin của mình phải được sắp xếp ngăn nắp và giúp mọi người kết nối được đầy đủ. Thứ hai là phải rõ ràng trong việc bàn giao, trong việc giao nhiệm vụ, cho cái nào là cho nhóm, cái nào cho cá nhân thì phải rõ ràng và rành mạch, minh bạch trong cái chuyện đó. Thứ ba là empowerment, tức là giao quyền cho mỗi cá nhân tự linh hoạt xử lý cái công việc theo khả năng và mong muốn của họ. Mình chỉ việc là đưa ra mục tiêu và đưa ra cái nguyên tắc là gì, còn việc làm như thế nào thì mình trao quyền lại cho team. Cái thứ tư là mình phải tôn trọng những cái giới hạn về mặt thời gian, không để cái gì kéo dài quá lâu. Và cái thứ năm là phải giao tiếp rõ ràng về kỳ vọng và mong muốn, cũng như là những cái định nghĩa để mọi người cùng có một cái sự thấu hiểu chung về công việc và lẫn nhau. Okay, Slava. So for people who need more human interactions, who more like extroverted,
Yeah.
so how to help them work more effectively when working remotely?
Okay, so my point is like you talk to your friends on WhatsApp, right? You talk to your friends on like over like Facebook Messenger. Is that correct? I
Yeah,
guess like that's what is happening on your side, the same on my side. What
yeah,
I mean is empower people to use the tools that you provide within the organization to also uh, embrace the social life. So the common practice is that there are like different channels in Slack, as an example, and there is a channel for development, very specific one. We discuss just business there. There's a channel for sales. We just like now discuss our performance there. But there might be also a channel like our company uh, at holidays, and people will like post photos there from holidays and from some like side activities, so they will feel like they are still in the office because they are not only like doing work delivering tasks but also chilling out with people. And that's something that I've seen in all of the remote companies that I've been with. And so that would be my recommendation, just like embrace somehow the social life in a way that still people might work remotely, but it doesn't really mean that they cannot catch up from time to time, both over like video conferences or face to face. That's how it worked for me.
Okay, so you mean we still can maintain the social life via all of the messenger apps or the chat or like the online tools. We
That's
still
correct.
have social life, right?
Plus, I've just seen in the chat the question in regards to cookies and stuff. I can answer it like straight away, yes. I mean, like I've seen a lot of like CEOs and like especially marketing teams. They like doing that stuff, sending a lot of gadgets to its employees, especially the remote ones living in different
Yeah.
countries and stuff, so they can feel
Yeah.
like the same family and stuff. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
that's something that works.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the next question,
Yeah,
we don't have so much time here, but we still have two questions. So maybe we'll go quick with the last two questions.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So can we move to the next slide, please?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's very interesting question, I think, for you. So what the difference between ideation and brainstorming and how to do it in the right way?
So you asked me to be like short on this question, but like frankly, on this question, you can write an article or like write a book. But okay, I'm gonna try. So so ideation is definitely more structured than brainstorming, and ideation is kind of definitely not one sitting session. This is a process, while brainstorming is by its definition kind of I mean like this is like one of the essential ideation techniques. So you use so brainstorming is kind of smaller than ideation. Ideation is continuous like process, while brainstorming is just one of the events within ideation. And obviously I
Mm,
can name some other like techniques to
mm,
ideate, but
mm,
brainstorming is just one of them. Yeah.
mm. Okay. So what is like what's the process of ideation that you mentioned? Yeah.
So the process in general is that you remember today in the product development cycle I mentioned like feature canvas.
Yeah.
uh, so that's the place where you need to ideate in order to come up with, based on the desk research, based on the questionnaires and stuff, based on data but also your knowledge, market situation. You That's the place where
Mm,
you come up with ideas for features. So ideation is, shortly speaking, that's a process which helps you literally, that's a process that helps you come up with solutions or potential solutions. And yeah, I mean like that's a process, and the techniques that you can use, that might be brainstorming, that might be mind mapping, that might be storyboarding, that might be reverse thinking. So there are a lot
mm,
of ways to facilitate the ideation, but the ideation itself is a process. of coming up with something new.
Yeah, that's brilliant answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helpful for me too. Câu hỏi này về ideation và brainstorming rồi em cũng không biết là dịch làm sao nữa. Cái ideation nó là một cái quy trình có cấu trúc rõ ràng để mà mục đích là đưa ra một cái giải pháp cụ thể, trong khi đó brainstorming là một cái kỹ thuật nằm ở trong ideation thôi. Thì kỹ thuật này nó có nhiều cách để mà làm sao ra nó linh hoạt hơn để mà đưa ra được ý tưởng. Còn ideation nó sẽ đi theo quy trình, như lúc nãy mà mình có nói về cái quy trình mà phát triển sản phẩm á, thì ideation này mục đích là sử dụng những cái đầu vào, sau đó đưa ra được cái feature canvas. Và từ feature canvas mình sẽ xây dựng ra được một cái giải pháp cho cái vấn đề mình muốn làm. Thì đó là cái câu trả lời của bạn Slava. Thank you very much, Slava. So we have final questions. Question 9. Please move to the next slide. So after this question, we may select some of the questions from the chat. So if you have any concern, please type in the chat and we will go to your questions right after this question.
Okay, cool.
So this is very relevant to the current situation, Slava. How to maintain a positive cash flow in the startup during the crisis. I think not only startup, but also on small and medium companies, like this current COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, so I also remember that there were questions in regards to the governmental support, the support from the government. And so to cut the long story short, I could say spend wisely, right? But that's not the answer. So like very specific things that you should think about right now is number one, especially if you're a small and medium business, setting up a line of credit in a bank. And number two, avoid late fees. Number three, avoid huge discounts right now. And number four, learn how to sell efficiently online. So I expect that like this whole coronavirus situation is gonna kind of spice up the marketing market a lot, like the inbound marketing is gonna rise a lot. So what I mean is just like please go to the website hubspot.com and learn what are the good rules of like selling online, marketing your product online, and that's definitely a way to ensure like positive cash flow. So by and like increasing the number of sales. What I would do if I were you, so I would first of all try to understand like how the coronavirus kind of challenge my business. So what is the situation on our side? Then I would try to understand what is the situation on the current client side and potential client side. So are the businesses affected by coronavirus or not? They're different businesses. And then finally, I would prioritize the pipeline and all my activities in accordance to those companies that are, according to those activities that are somehow related to clients that are not impacted by the crisis. So if I have an option to work right now with supply chain companies, that's good for me. If I have an option to work with pharmacies right now, that's good for me. So obviously this is not the answer. This is not a solution for all of the businesses because we are different businesses, right? But what I'm saying is the general message is I would think about the way to approach people, companies, organizations that are not impacted in a negative way by the crisis. And there are a lot of them. So I would think about this. Then you said about that there's also like some questions in regards to the governmental support. We've been researching together with SwissEP and SHP team on the topic here in Vietnam. There are no information that we can share with you with 100% accuracy. if you are interested, and just let us know in the chat, I can like tell you how the situation looks like in Germany, in Poland, in Russia, so you can be aware what might be the potential scenarios for Vietnam. But again, it's very much up to you. And if there's like, you know, if there is a need to elaborate more, just let me know in the chat, and I'm happy to do so. Yeah, that would be my answer.
Yeah, yeah. Slava, can you tell me again about the top three solutions that you mentioned just now?
Okay, so I'm gonna sum it up so you can like straight away just translate it. So
Yeah,
first
okay.
of all, I would learn like how coronavirus impacted our business, employees, finances. Then I would learn how the situation impacted our current clients and potential clients, so clients and leads. And finally, I would adjust all my activities into the pipeline that is somehow related, that consists of clients that are not impacted by coronavirus, meaning supply chain companies, pharmacies, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay, and I mean, how about the first thing when you mention is you advise to avoid some kind of
So yeah, I would say that avoid late fees, so late payments. If you sell something, get cash immediately. Avoid huge discounts. If you sell something, don't be generous this time because you cannot afford to do it, most likely. But again, you need to be just smart because like no, every business is different. Those are the general rules that you can follow. And learn how to sell online. Again, I mentioned the HubSpot company. I think this is a good stuff to read right now.
Yeah, okay. So you suggest 5 points. The first one is to avoid late payment. The second one is avoid huge discounts. Then the third one is sell especially online. So you recommend us to go to HubSpot.com to learn about marketing and sell online techniques. And the fourth is reevaluate the real effect on our stakeholders of the business to reprioritize the pipeline. And the last one, the sixth one, is to seek for government support. And you're willing to share about the lesson from Germany or Poland or Russia for us? If we
As an example, yeah. So I don't know if there are like any questions from the audience. Maybe we can check the chat right now.
Yeah, okay. So let me translate the solution that you just advised for this question first.
Yeah.
Câu hỏi về việc về việc làm sao để duy trì được cái dòng tiền dương cho những doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ và startup trong giai đoạn khủng hoảng như là Covid, thì bạn có đưa ra một số cái giải pháp như sau. Thứ nhất là tránh thanh toán trễ, tránh việc thanh toán trễ. Thứ hai là tránh giảm giá sâu, vì giai đoạn này mình không thể nào quá hào phóng được. Thứ ba là phải biết cách tự hiệu quả khi mà sử dụng những cái công cụ online, thì bạn có đề nghị mình lên cái trang hubspot.com để mà học những cái kỹ thuật hay là những cái công cụ làm marketing và sale online như thế nào cho hiệu quả. Thứ tư là đánh giá lại cái ảnh hưởng thực sự của cái dịch bệnh lần này đối với từng bên liên quan ở trong cái mô hình kinh doanh của mình, như là nhân viên, khách hàng, đối tác, vân vân, thì thực sự là họ có ảnh hưởng hay không, để mà mình có thể tái thiết lập lại cái ưu tiên trong cái pipeline, là cái pipeline là cái thứ tự của sale của mình. Thì mình đánh giá lại cái tình hình như vậy thì mình sắp xếp lại cái thứ tự ưu tiên đó. Cái tiếp theo là tìm những cái hỗ trợ từ nhà nước. Thì với những cái gói hỗ trợ từ nhà nước thì để mà có thông tin thì chắc là anh chị có thể hỏi phía bên vườn ươm. Còn bạn Slava có thể chia sẻ những cái thông tin này ở Đức, ở Ba Lan hay là Nga, thì bạn có những thông tin này thì bạn có thể chia sẻ nếu như mà mình muốn nghe thêm. Bây giờ nếu như mà các anh chị có thêm câu hỏi nào thì cứ đặt Trong khung chat em Đào sẽ nói lại với Slava. Okay, so I just finished translating the solution that you just recommended for this question. And now we are hunting for questions from the audience. Any questions? You can also unmute your microphone and ask directly to Slava if you want.
Yeah, let's check the chat first and then see if there's like
Yeah,
anyone ask.
I'm checking. Yeah. Okay. There's one question in the registration. They asking Mr. Thai. He asking about what is your experience to deal with the security problems when using online tools, especially the free ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two ways that startups. Okay, so security is very important, and that's a good question. The first thing that by default all the startups do, whenever you're hiring somebody or whenever somebody is consulting you, you sign NDA, non-disclosure agreement, right? So someone is not allowed to share the data. That's number one. So there are no like leaks from the team that you're working with. That's number one. Number two, there are also technical risks, right?